Hello and welcome. This is sets video number 24, and today we are going to take a quick look at properties related to complement of a set. Now we have learned in our previous videos what is a complement of a set. So if we have a set A such that set A is a subset of a universal set, then we have seen that complement of set A is written as A with a dash at the top, and it is simply a set that contains all elements of universal set that do not belong to set A, or we can write it as the universal set minus A. So this we have seen before. This is known as complement of a set. Now the first law we are going to study. So there are two laws which are known as complement laws. So this is the first of the two laws. Set A union A complement will be a universal set. And the second complement law is set A intersection A complement is a null set. It's easy to visualize this using Venn diagram. Let's do that next. So here we have drawn a yellow circle that represents set A. So this represents set A, and this is a universal set. So now what will be A complement? Can you guess? Yes, A complement will be this part, which is the blue colored part. So here, this blue colored part is A complement, and this is a universal set. So now we have two sets. So one is the yellow circle, which is set A, and the second is A dash, which is shown by the blue colored part. Now let's take a look at the first complement law and see if we can figure this out together. So A union A complement. So if we combine the yellow color and the blue color, what do we get? We will get the entire universal set. And hence the first complement law, which says the set A union A complement will be the universal set. Now let's take a look at the second complement law. Now set A intersection A complement is a null set. Now we know that intersection means we are looking for elements that belong to both the sets. So do we see anything common between the yellow circle and the blue portion? There is actually nothing common. They are mutually disjoint sets. So yellow and blue, they have nothing in common, and hence set A intersection set A complement will be phi, or a null set, or an empty set, or a void set. Now let's take a look at the next few laws of complement of a set. Now De Morgan's laws. There are two laws which were proposed by De Morgan. Now the complement laws dealt with one set and the complement of that set. So A and A complement. We are not considering the universal set. Now De Morgan's law deals with two sets. So here we have two sets A and B inside of a universal set. So the first De Morgan law states that A union B complement is equal to A complement intersection B complement. And the second De Morgan's law is basically that states that A intersection B complement is simply A complement union B complement. So the sign, the operation reverses. If you do A union B complement, the union becomes intersection. Obviously here we have the set and the complement, and here we have the A complement and the B complement, but the union has become intersection. And similarly A intersection B complement, here the intersection will become the union. Now keep in mind there are two possible scenarios when we are dealing with two sets. What are they? Well, the two sets can be mutually disjoint. So here, let's say the big circle represents set A and the small circle represents set B, and this is a universal set. So here AB, they are mutually disjoint sets. They have no common elements. So when we talk about two sets, we can have this scenario, or we can also have this situation or this scenario where this is our set A, the big circle again, and the small circle is set B, but they overlap. So they have some common elements. So it's important to note that De Morgan's law is applicable to both scenarios. So each of these two laws, they apply to this condition and this condition. Similarly, this law applies to this and it applies to this. Now, we are not going to prove all 4 scenarios, but let's do one thing. Let's take maybe the first law and the first condition and see if we can together figure this out. So here, we will try and find out if A union B complement is indeed equal to A complement intersection B complement. And again, we are going to use the Venn diagrams as a tool to visually see if this is making sense. So here we have the 2 sets. So the big circle is set A and the small circle is set B, and this is a universal set. So can you tell what is A union B? Well, because these are mutually disjoint sets, so A union B will be simply all of set A and all of set B. So set A is the red colored part and set B is the yellow colored part. So A union B is shown here by the combination of red color and the yellow color. So then, can you find out what is A union B complement? Because this is the left hand side. So we have to prove that this is equal to this. So we are starting with the left hand side and then we will do the right hand side. So in the left hand side we have done A union B, which is this. But now we have to do complement of this. That means we have to identify all elements that belong to the universal set but that do not belong to these two. So what will that be? Well, it will be this, shown in the blue color here. So this is a universal set, and blue color part here represents, so this blue color part here, it represents set A union B complement. That means all elements that belong to the universal set and that do not belong to set A and B. Right? Now let's take a look at the right hand side. So the right hand side we have again the 2 sets A and B here, A and B, and this is the universal set. So first let's find out A complement. How will A complement look like? A complement is shown in this bright green color. A complement is simply all elements of universal set minus elements that belong to set A. So similarly, can you guess what is B complement? B complement will be this, which is all elements that belong to universal set but that do not belong to set B. Now, so this is our right hand side. Now we have to do an intersection. We have to find out common elements that belong to the bright cream color part and the pink part. So what will that be? Keep in mind that the bright cream color actually includes set B, and similarly the pink part includes set A. So if you were to find out all common parts between these two, it will actually be this over here. It will be represented by the blue color part. That means it will be all of the things, in all the elements inside universal set that do not belong to A and that do not belong to B. Because we are trying to find out the intersection, so we have to exclude B and we have to exclude A. Then we will be left with the blue color part. And hence we see that indeed the left hand side is equal to the right hand side. So again, this was a very quick visual way of looking at one of those 4 cases we talked about. Now let's take a look at the last couple of laws that relate to, or properties relate to, complement of a set. So law of double complementation. It simply means that if we take set A complement and if we complement that, we will get set A. And again, you can very easily visualize this. So set A complement of that will give us set A. Let's quickly move on. Law of empty set. If we take an empty set and do a complement, then we will get the universal set. So this is actually quite easy to visualize. because empty set has no elements. So if we take no elements, so then what will be universal set minus no elements? So clearly that will be all elements in the universal set, right? So we can think of this as, so we can write this as this is equal to phi, so universal set minus this, right? This complement, phi complement is universal set minus this, and universal set has all elements and this is just an empty set. So this answer will be universal set, which is law of empty set. So phi complement is a universal set. And the last law is law of universal set, which is if we take the universal set and do a complement, we will get null set or phi. Meaning universal set has pretty much all elements, right? So if we do a universal set complement, so that will basically mean universal set minus universal set, and that will give us empty set or null set. So if you have enjoyed watching these videos, please subscribe to the channel, and if you want to try out problems related to complement of a set along with union, intersection and difference of sets, please go to www.risingpearl.com. From the top menu, select Class 11 Math and choose Sets Problem Sets and select the problem set number 7. Problem set number 7 contains questions that you can practice on, and these questions, they are questions that have complements, unions, intersections and differences of sets.